Hi, welcome to the Codemsbians. This is Hadiq Ali, founder and CEO of Codemsbians channel. Now, this is a very special video, and this was for like all the students who are preparing for their ICSE exam, computer applications. Now, what I try to do is I make this complete revision video where a student can, if you are aiming for doing top in this exam, like if you want to score 100 marks, or if you're someone who didn't prepare for some reasons, the life is not same for everyone, so there could be the reasons. So if you lag in the preparation, then also we're going to cover up everything, actually not the everything, but like most of the thing that is will be really helpful to you in your exam. Now, I have divided entire curriculum into different sections. As you can see in the left side, we are having chapter 0, chapter 1, chapter 2, and so on, chapter number 8, and then some final tips and the importance of making of variable description program, that variable description table. Now, I also prepare the notes. So if you guys need this type of notes, so I will also give you in Google Docs. And also, I have prepared some codes for you. So I will go and open my BlueJ, this one. So here also you can see that lots of important programs are there. So it's like a complete revision, you can say. So I don't know how much time this video will be going to take, but I will be going to shoot it entirely, and I will be going to give you today only. Okay, so that I can give you some support from my side in your preparation. So if you know anyone who is preparing for this exam, ICSE class 10th computer applications, so please give them this marathon kind of revision video, so that they will also have some good pointers and good marks in their exam. Okay, great. So now let's start without wasting a single second. So first of all, I will be going to make one class here. Let's say new class, and the name of the class, let's say happy, 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 and I will be click on OK. Now this is for our warm-up. So whatever concept that we have studied in our previous classes, so we'll try to just like in 9th class, or some people are having 8 also Java. So we'll just warm up so that we can begin with our curriculum. Like this warm up is important because it will be going to help us in order to do bigger concepts in an easy manner. Okay, so I will start with the class, and you observe that I put H capital because that's the convention we follow. It's not mandatory, but it's convention because it's a class. Okay, now here what I will do is I will be going to have a main function. Okay, so I'm gonna write here public static void main string args, then brackets of the array, string array. Now you can see that I have a main function, the yellow color part, main function part. Now we have, first of all, we have discussed about multiple data types. So let's start with integer. So I am writing integer. Maybe I will give a variable which is number and num, and I will give a value, let's say 3, or maybe 3. Now another type of data type we are having, which is float. Okay, float b equals to, let's say, 2.3. Now float is that data type where we can put the number with decimal, which is actually that dot, floating point, we call it, right? So now you can see that float is giving error because we know that after 2.3 we have to put f. So you remember, you please, else you can't handle the float. Now we are having another one which is double. So I prefer you to use double whenever you have to deal with these floating point numbers. Please try to deal with double. Double will be going to really help you. Okay, so I will be going to put here, let's say, some data type. Let's say I'm putting here maybe a number 2 num2, which is equals to maybe 3.4. okay, now you can see that double is not giving any error because it's okay, because by default it will be this num2 will be going to act as double only, right? So this is the reason. Another data type which we are having is boolean. Now boolean is another data type. It can only handle 2 values, which is either true or false. Okay, let me make it maybe boolean t for maybe truth is equals to, we can give value false to it. You can see the blue color because it's a keyword. So double. Now one more we are having, which is char. Okay, char. Let me give some data type to it, maybe char symbol. So sym symbol equals to, very important whenever you are giving value to char, so it will be must close in single quotation. So I will give some value, maybe r. I don't know why r, but let's say r for rabbit. Now another data type I'm going to do, which this one is non-primitive, because s capital che, and a class che. This is a class, right? So this is the reason this is non-primitive. So I will write here a string. Let's say the string maybe name of a person, or maybe sentence also you can handle. let's say the name of the person is Abraham Lincoln. I don't know the spelling. I'm sorry for that. I'm having some typo. So, one of the U.S. president. All right. So Abraham Lincoln. If I want to increase more in the sentence, so Abraham Lincoln is from U.S. maybe something like that. So string can handle single word also, or entire line of sentence also, or paragraph also. This so we all know, right? Now, if anything you want to print, right? So first of all, you have to write system, then dot out, then you will write print ln, right? And here whatever variable you will pass, that particular thing will be going to print. Now what are the variables here? We are having num, we are having b, we are having num2, t, s, y, m for symbol, and name. Let's put here t, okay? And let's try to run the code. So first of all, I have to compile it. Now no error, I will close it, and then I will go to this happy class, right click, and then main, and then I will say okay. Now you can see that false is printed. Now if I will go again in the happy, if I will change this variable from t to, let's say I'm doing maybe num2 and num2, and we already know that num2 is nothing but double, which is 3.4. I will compile it and I will close it, right click, main, and then I will hit the OK button. Now you can see that my compiler is active. Now 3.4 is printed, right? Now this is how we can use different type of data types and their variables, okay? And this is how we print the values. So this is the data type, variable, and value. Now next thing, we will be going to see 3 loops in Java, okay? So there are total 3 loops in Java. One is for loop, and one is while loop, and the another one is do while loop, okay? Now coming to these loops, they are very important because whenever we want to do any kind of repetition, so we use loops. Now how to use them? Quite simple. Before loop, I want to say, there are 2 type of comments in Java. The one is single line comment, and the another one is multi-line comment, okay? Multi-line comment. Now you can see that when I begin with 2 forward slashes, like 2 forward slashes are there, so this is single line comment. For example, if I will go to next line, if I try to write something, so it is coming in a different color, it is not coming gray. Why? Because this is not a JEUNR, that's not a comment part, okay? But here this is multi-line, single, you have put the slash and then star and slash, that forward slash, this is known as multi-line comment. So here, you can go ahead and you can have any number of lines, so many lines you can have, okay? That's the reason it's called multi-line comment. All right, now let's go ahead and look all the 3 loops. First of all, I'm giving I can use some value from here also. Let's say I'm using this num only, num3, so num, or we can start from scratch. So let me make here 4, and I will be going to, we know that for loop is having 3 parts. The first is initialization, so I'm going to write here int I equals to maybe 0, okay? So the value of I is 0. I'm saying that I is less than maybe 10, okay? Then I'm saying that I plus plus. Now what is that? Well, this is simple, that we are starting the value of I from 0 and we are going till 9 by incrementing by 1. So 0 will become 1, 1 will become 2, 3, 4, and so on, and it will go till 9. Why not 10? Because 10 is not lesser than 10. 10 is equal to 10, but we didn't put this equal sign there. Okay, so what we're going to do is basically we check the output. I'm going to write here system.out.println, and I'm going to put there I. Now I for ice cream, okay? But here we are having different I, variable I. Now I'm going to go to compile, and here I will close it, and I will do happy class. Now my compiler is active. I have this very, wrong habit that I never close the compiler. All right, you can see that we start from the 0 and we are going till 9. Okay, if you want to go opposite, let's do opposite also. Let me close the compiler this time. All right, so in order to go reverse, okay, what I'm going to do is I will make it, let's say 10, the value of I is 10, and I will just change the sign, which is I is greater than or equal to, greater than, or maybe if you want to ignore the equal, so it will go till 1 only. And here you have to do I minus minus. Now what is the first value of I? Well, 10. Now since it is minus minus, so minus I minus minus means that decrement the value of I by 1. For example, right now it's 10, so the 10 will become 9, then 8, then 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do 1 is greater than 0? Of course. Then 1 will become 0. Do 0 is greater than 0? No. 0 is equal to 0 but not greater. Okay. So what it will do, it will go from 10 and it will come till 1. So let me compile it, close it, and I'm gonna right click, main, and then okay. Now you can see that it is coming from 10, it is going till 1. In order to print the 0, very simple. You will just put the equal sign here. Okay. Let me put equal sign. Let me compile it, close, right click, main. You can see now we are coming from 10 and we are going till 0. Why this 3.4 is coming again and again? Because of this line. This line is there, no? This system.out.println num2, and we know that in the num2 we are having 3.2, 3.4. That's the reason with our all these numbers on the top it is coming 3.4. Very nice. Okay. Now this is the for loop. Now how to write while loop? While loop, okay, very simple. But while loop is different from for loop. And this is known as, while loop is called entry control loop. Okay, we'll tell you what is entry control or what is exist control. Here I'm gonna write here int, let's say some variable, maybe the variable is number, which is equals to maybe 1. I'm gonna write here while, while. Let me increase the size so that you can see it easily. All right, now I'm saying that while number is less than equal to 10. Okay, which means that number is less than or equal to 10. So what is number? Number is 1 right now. Number, I'm talking about this. Do this is less than 10? Of course it is less than 10. What you do? System.out.println, print it. Whom? To the number. Alright. After printing it, you do one more thing. You increase the value of number by 1. Okay. So number by 1. For example, the value of number is 1, 1 is less than 10. We print the number 10, we print the number, so 1 will be printed. After that, after this line, the 1 will be printed. Now 1 will become number plus plus, which is 1 will become 2. Now 2 will be checked here. Do 2 is less than 10? Of course 2 is less than 10. Then 2 will become 3 and 4 and 5 and so on till 10. Why 10? Because equal sign is there. Okay. So it will print the list from 1 to 10. I will compile it, close it. Then I will be going to right click, then I will go to the main. I will say okay, and you can see that the numbers are printing from here. This one from 1 to 10. Let me clear the output with Control K and let me run it again, and so that our output will be a bit clear. All right, so it is printing from all these numbers. This is 3.4 and this is old loop, which is for loop, and this is coming from 1 to 10. Okay, 1 to 10 because the number 1 was 1 and it is coming 10. Let me comment it. This one I will comment it, single line comment, and let me make it multi comment /star, and let me make it /. Okay, now all this part will not execute it because we have committed. The comments will not execute so it will not run in the output. Okay, so now this loop will be run in the output, so we can see our output clearly. I will compile it, close it. I will go to the main. My compiler is active. Okay, I will clear it, Control K. Let me rerun it. Okay, now see 1 to 10 is coming. Okay, so this is how we use the while loop. Another one is do while loop. Do while is very simple. Okay, let me comment the while loop and let me show you the do while loop. Okay, now what I will do in order to tell you do while loop, I will be going to use while loop only because they both are similar. But this one is entry control loop. This one is, please remember, it can come in 1 marks also. This is the entry control loop. And this one is exit. Do while loop is exit control loop. Okay, let me tell you why. See, first of all, I will write do, and after do, parenthesis will not come. You have to put the braces like this. Okay, and after that, here you will be going to write this particular statement, which you write inside the while loop body. Now what you will write here after the bracket, you will put while, and you will put the condition after execution of the two statements. I will paste here. Now this is the reason it is called exit control loop. Exit control loop. You know, because you know the control, you can see the control. This control is after the execution of two statements which are in the do, which is your print statement and number plus plus. The control is if the this number is less than equal to 10, if this is wrong also, then also one time the do while loop will run, right? So that's the reason. So let me check it out, compile it. Acha, one problem it will give us. Actually, it will not give any problem. I will close it. Let me run it. Happy main. Okay. Yeah, so it's good. Let me clear it. Control K. Control K is for the output for clearing. Now main, and okay. Now you can see that 1 to 10. If you will change the numbers here, for example, let's say the value of number is not 1, let's say it's 10. And here we are having not number less than equal to 10, but it's maybe 100. If you will run it, compile, close, and if you will be going to go to happy, and here, sorry, if you will run it, main, okay, my compiler is active. Okay, so it's coming from all the way 10 to 100, right? All right, so it's coming from here 10. You can see this divider. This is output, which is previous. The new output start with 10. It is going way down till the 100. Okay, so control K for clearing. All right, let me close this compiler. Okay, so this is our do while loop. Now there's something which is known as conditional statements in Java. Conditional statements. Okay, so we are having like if else, then we are having if, else if, okay, and last we can put else there in the last one. And we can also have multiple if, this is also possible. Multiple if you can have other than else if. Or one more thing, you can have switch case. Okay, switch case, switch case. So let's revise them. Okay, all right. So now first of all, let me say that age, int age. Let's say we are making a program. Let me comment this part. Awala part ne, let me comment it. Oh. All right. Now I will do here like int age is equals to maybe 17. Let's say if you want to make a program where you're gonna check out the age of a candidate, that person is eligible for vote or not. Okay. So what you will do is basically you will write if, and you will say a condition that if age is greater, greater or equal to 18, that means that age of that candidate must be 18 or more than 18. Okay. So what you can do, you can print here system.out.println you are eligible for vote. You are eligible for vote. Okay. Now, if this is not true, so we can handle like this, that else you can have a message. And please remember, after else, if you when you will write this else now, so after else we will never have the parenthesis. So that's the reason if you have the multiple conditions, so you put else if, and in the if you put the parenthesis. In F, you will never have the parenthesis. You will directly give the body by braces. These are called as braces, curly bracket. Now here I'm gonna put system.out.println. Okay, and here I will put that you are not eligible for vote. Okay, I mean you can't give the vote. Okay, you are not 18 actually. Now let's check it. Right now the age is 17, and we know that 17 is not greater than 18, right? So this else part should be executed. Let me compile it. Let me close it, and I'm gonna go to the happy class. All right, it is saying that you are not eligible for vote because the age was 17. Let me check with 18. Okay, I will change this age to 18. 18. Now this AGE age is 18. Now 18 will be AGE age will be checked here. Do 18 is greater than 18? No, 18 is not greater than 18. But with greater we are having equal sign also. We know that the 18 is equal to 18. Now compile it, close, right click, main. Okay, now you can see that you are eligible for vote. Let's say the age of the candidate is maybe 118. Okay, definitely eligible for the vote. Close, right click, main. Okay, you can see that you are eligible for vote again. Okay, so this is how you can use if and else. Okay, if you are having multiple conditions, for example, if the age is how much, if the age is like some kindergarten, maybe you are having schooling, then you are having middle school, you are having high school. So these type of conditions are there when you are having more than one condition. Right now the one condition is there, so 18 or above than 18. But if you are having multiple conditions, so how you will tackle it? You will tackle it with if else if, like this. You have this, okay, and then you have like this, okay. So for all the condition you can go like this, and in the last you can have else. This is your final condition, the last condition. So this is how you can actually tackle all these things. All right, so let's go ahead and just delete this, and let's see that what is switch case. Now one more thing I want to tell you, that if I'm going too fast, so you can pause the video and revisit the video if you think that the time is less, so I am not covering up so much in depth. So then also please don't worry, because if you will text me on this, comment me on this YouTube channel, if you will make a comment and you tell me to do some specific part, so I will again record it for you. So please don't worry about that thing, okay. But I have to be a bit fast. The reason is that because the students are having lack of time, and their exam is very near, so it's kind of a revision. So I'm sorry for that if it's too fast. Then I'm going here int, and I will be going to put here maybe some key. I'm putting key equals to 1. Okay, now let's learn about switch cases. Okay, so I'm putting how to use switch case. First you have to write switch, 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 then parenthesis, then braces, and here I am passing key. Now what is key? Well, key is this integer which is equals to 1. All right, so a switch can have multiple cases, okay, and one case is also there which will handle the case when all the cases are not true. I will tell you what is that. That is known as the default case. Let's do that. I will write here case, and let's put number 1, then colon. Here I'm gonna write system dot out dot println, and here I'm gonna put, let's say, Monday, okay. Then I will put here break, okay. Similarly I can have more cases, so I will go here and I will copy this. It is giving me error because it's saying why all the cases are coming 1 only. We will change it, don't worry about it. So case 2, case 3, maybe case 4. Let's say do few more cases, control V, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7. Now let's go ahead and change the numbers. So just make it 5, make this one as 6, and make this one as 7. Okay, now one more is default, and now default you can put anywhere, okay. Don't worry like you are putting in the last. It's a convention, people are putting in the last, so I'm putting in the last, but you can put default anywhere, okay. So just copy this, and I'm putting it here, okay. Now let me change the values here. In all these cases it was Monday. Let me make the second one is Tuesday, or the short form TUE. Then third one is Wednesday, so WED. Then Thursday, THR. Then Friday, let me write full name, FRIDAY, my favorite. Then Saturday, SAT, and then the Sunday, SUN. Then if the case are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If someone enter a different number, maybe they enter 92. So that is something which is not in the part of the case, because the range in the cases are from 1 to 7. So in order to handle that, we will say you have entered invalid key, something like that, random message. Let me compile it. This is showing no error. I will close it, right click, main, okay, and you say Monday because the key was 1, okay. Let me change the key. Let me make the key as maybe 5, okay. I'm deleting this one here, and I'm putting 5. Let me compile it, close, right click, main, okay. All right, my compiler is active. So it is saying Friday. Let me give a number which is not the part of the range of 1 to 7. Let me give it 55. Now compile, close, right click, main, okay. Now say you have entered an invalid key because 55 was not in the range of 1 to 7. This is how the switch case work. And in order to, if you don't want to use key as integer, you can also use key as char. Let me tell you. So if I am writing char ch equals to maybe A for apple, okay, A, and I'm gonna put ch here, ch. Now the key become character. It will give error definitely because it. Let me check it out why it's not giving error. it is not giving an error, but this will not handle like this way 1 2 3. But in order to handle the cases with care, what you have to do is you have to put here this single quotation, and then you can put here A. Instead of number, you will put the character only. B. Let me put here C. Let me put here maybe D. Okay. Let me put here maybe E. E for elephant, kindergarten. Then put here F. Then put here maybe G. Okay. Let me compile it. It is fine. And we have given A, so Monday should be printed. Okay. Main. Okay. Monday is printing, right? Let me change the letter here. Instead of A, let me give here maybe C. Now compile. Now close. Right click. Main. Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The third one was Wednesday. Good. You did it. Now let's clear it. Control K. Okay. All right. Now we have covered up like some of the warm-up things, but let me, one more thing I want to put it here. Let's say, if right now that we are giving input by ourselves, but in case we have to take the input from the user. So for that, we have to take the class which is the scanner class. Okay. Let me do that also. I'm putting here, in order to use the scanner class, you have to import the util package. So I will write here import java.util.scanner. Okay. Like this. Now what I will do is, first of all, I have to put here let me comment all this code. Right now I don't want this code here, so I'm just commenting out. Okay, star and then comment. I don't want all this. I just want to show you a fresh concept of scanner class. So first of all, I will be going to make a object here. So whenever you are using a class which is a library class, scanner is a library class, so you have to create the object in the main function. How to do that? The name of the class will come first, which is scanner. I'm writing SC equals to new new scanner, and here I have to put system.in as capital, system.in, this one. Now here I will be going to give a message. Okay. Now what message I should give? Well, I can give any message, but some meaningful message I will give here system.out.println. Now enter double quotation. Double quotation very important to give message. So enter your name, comma, age, comma, enter your name, age, comma, any one character. Okay, these three things we can take from the user. Now we know that name is a kind of a string, so let me write here string first. I'm making a variable name, name, equals to, now I have to connect this name with the scanner class. How to connect it? You already remember we have made the object. Now what is the object? The object is SC. So first of all, I'm gonna put here SC, then I will put next line, line. Okay. Why next line? Because in order to tackle the string data types, so we are having next function and next line function. So next line will be going to take entire paragraph also. Like for example, if someone is having name is maybe a big name, for example, some big name, okay, Sadiq Ali, Akbar Ali, something like this. Okay, now it's four words. So next line will be going to tackle it. But if you will be going to use only next function, so it will be going to take the first word only, Sadiq, and then it won't be going to take the entire word. Okay. Similarly, for age, I have integer, so string int equals to sc dot. Earlier we use next line, since it is int, so we will use here next integer. Okay. Let's say we are asking that person, maybe you also give sorry, string will not come, integer, we have to give the variable, maybe the age is the variable here, equals to sc dot next int. Let's handle one double also. Let's give some value for double. What value I should give? Enter your marks. Okay, marks will be come in double. People are having a 99.99%. Okay, So marks can be used in double. Okay, so let me write here double. I'm writing here marks, maybe m for marks equals to, again SC, very important, dot, here it will come next double. You guessed it out, right? Next D capital, now double. Okay, now we did it. Now one more thing, char. So I'm gonna write here char. This is actually a bit tricky part, so please pay attention. C equals to SC dot. Here the function for char will be used as yeah, for the char the function was next. And here we have to put 0, the first index actually. No, for the char the function was not next. The function for the char was I forgot it. It was, let me check with internet. Char function for scanner. It is next 80. Okay, yeah, next was correct, but after next I have to write dot next 80. So please make a note of it, next and then next 80. All right, so let me just put here dot again and next 80, and here we are passing the index, which is nothing but the 0. Now I think it will work. Compile. No, again it is giving error. So next, it is not actually next 80, it is char 80, I think. Char 80. Compile. Now it is fine. Thankfully. Okay, so now just print everything. I'm gonna write here system dot out dot println, and here it will come. First I'm giving here name, so name, then plus age, then plus m for the marks, then plus C. Okay, so first name will print, then age will print, then marks will print, and then that char will print. I will compile it, I will close it, then I will be going to go to the, gonna right click here on happy main, and then this one. Okay, now it is asking me enter your name, age, marks, and the this one character. So let me write the name, maybe Sadiq Ali, SADIQALI, my name, and then my age. What is my age? Well, 29, and well, what marks I scored? Let's say I scored somewhere 98.99 percentile, and it is asking me one character you can enter. Let me enter dollar. Now you can see that it is printing here Sadiq Ali, that's a name, and after that it is coming 29, that's the age, then it's coming 98.99, that's a marks, and it is coming dollar, which is nothing but the sign, the char, right? Now if you want to make it a bit nice, like some space you have to give, you have to concatenate with the space. So I will put plus and then space, then again plus and then some space, and then again the plus and then the space. Okay, now you will observe that there will be some spacing. Okay, all right, so again it is asking me enter your name and stuff like that. Let me, this time I'm putting the name is maybe Sachin Tendulkar, and the age is maybe I don't know the age, maybe 62, marks maybe 99.99, and character one maybe H. So it is coming like Sachin Tendulkar, and then it is coming like a space, and then like 62, then marks, and then H. It is looking quite good, right? Control K for clear. Let me close the compiler. And one more thing I want to show you guys, that instead of having this space, I can also have a /n. Now what is that? I will tell you what is this. And for a new line, okay, /n. Compile it, close, happy main. Okay. Now enter the name. Let's say the name of the person is maybe Rohit, all the cricketers name. Age, I don't know, I'm sorry for that. So any random age, I'm very sorry, this is not that Rohit Sharma age. Marks 100 I want to give him, and any symbol, this is star player. So it is coming like Rohit Sharma, then /n. Acha, I mistake one did. I am putting here this /, but remember, backward slash will come. Okay, so I just want to clear it. I want to just tackle my mistake. I will go here and I will be going to make it, backward slash. Backward slash is on top of the enter key. Okay, backward slash, and then the again backward slash, compile, close, and here we go, main. All right, enter the name. Maybe this time I'm entering the name is maybe Alex, and age maybe Alex, 63 years old. Marks of the Alex is somewhere 76, and one character, maybe the one character I can give @ Now you can see Alex, and it is coming line by line. It's not coming in one line, it's coming like line by line. Alex, then 63, then 76.0, then @. Why it is? Because of that backward slash n, which is a new line, access specifier, this one. All right, so this is a bit of warm up that we did, and you guys also understand that how to take the value from the user and what are the different type of function used, like next line for string, next int for integer, next double for double, and next char for the char. Okay, now you can also do in multiple line. In order to do in a multiple line, so I can do like this also. I will just make a message here, Control C, I will print here, and this line just separate for marks for name only, so I'm deleting this. And let's make this one for age, so I'm deleting extra things here, and I'm just copying this line again, Control C, and I will go down and Control V, and again down, Control V. Now here, below this we are taking the name, so that's the reason enter your name. Below this we are taking the age, that's the reason enter your age. Below this marks, that's the reason you have to write enter your correct marks. Below this we are having char, so that's the reason you have to write enter any symbol. Okay, so here the symbol we will be going to edit. Great, so this is fantastic, right? Let me compile it, close it, no error, right click, main, and then okay. Okay, so now I will go here and I will going to check with my compiler, enter your name. Let's say name is maybe Jai Singh. Enter the age, maybe 23. Enter the marks, maybe 100, and symbol, let's say percentile. Now you can see Jai Singh is coming like that, Jai Singh, and then 23, 100, and all this. The difference that you can see, earlier it was asking in one line everything, but here it is so nice that it is asking one thing at a time, name after name, age after age, the marks, and then the symbol likewise. So this is fantastic, right? This is clean code, I would say. Now Control K, and I will close it. So a bit of warm up we did. Now let's deep dive into the chapters. So if you know this only, so you have a high chance of scoring good marks because you are good with basics now. Now scoring part we have to do now. Okay. All right. I will go here and yeah, everything is fine, thankfully. Okay, where are the notes? These are our notes. Let's start with chapter number 1. Now, one very important concept, which is they ask about, they ask about this particular thing, which is a definition. So you already know what is abstraction, and sometimes they will be going to give you some kind of a image, and then you have to find it out, what they're talking about. For example, in one of the ICSE exam, they have given there was a hen, and then there were some chicks. Okay, so whenever the image of hens and chick will come, that means we are talking about inheritance, because a child inherit from their father, right? The qualities, inheritance. So sometimes they can give you an image. So if you are good with the definition, what is abstraction, what is inheritance, polymorphism, and this one more is there, na? Encapsulation. If you are good with the definition, so you can see the image and you can predict that, okay, so what they are trying to say. Now let me give here this one. See, abstraction means hiding the complexity and showing the essential feature. For example, very common example, car. So coming to car, whenever we drive, we just only know how to drive the car. We don't know anything about the engine, how the engine is working. So coming to abstraction also, we use the scanner class, but we don't know what is inside the scanner class. Now coming to encapsulation, we know that what is encapsulation. It's wrapping up of what? Wrapping up of data. So you are having like data members, which is your data types and variables, and you are having member functions. So inside one class you are having data members also and member functions also. So that is known as encapsulation. Now inheritance means that you write one time code and you are using that code again and again. So that's the inheritance. And after inheritance we are having polymorphism. we already know that we have used println so many times. So if you are writing println with double quotation, so it is giving you 2 plus 3 as 2 plus 3 only. Let me tell you what I am trying to say. Polymorphism means that one function can be used in multiple form. Let me give you a very small example. It's very small but good for polymorphism. See, let me comment all this. All right, I hope yeah, everything is fine. Good. Now see, one very simple example I want to give, and it's very important example also coming to 1 marks question. If I'm writing a system.out.println, I will be going to write 2 times this function, println, same function but 2 times I want to write. Okay, 2 times I wrote. Now what I will do is, here I'm gonna put double quotation and I'm gonna write here 2 plus 3. Okay, and here same thing I will do but without double quotation. I will put here 2 plus 3. Let me compile it. Let me close it. Right click, main. Okay. Now you will see you will observe one thing. In top it is coming 2 plus 3, but in bottom it is coming 5. Why? Now due to polymorphism. Now what is polymorphism? Where println function, when you are giving string data, which is 2 plus 5 in double quotation is string. So it is acting as a string. So it is thinking that 2 plus and 3 is text. But when you're giving like without, you're not using double quotations. So now 2 and 3 are acting as the numbers. And we know that we can't add text, but we can add numbers. So 2 plus 3 is getting 5 because of that. Okay, good. Control K for clear. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I will go to this. Right, so I will go to my notes again. So that is about it. Now coming to this concept that what is objects in class. We know that class is nothing but they are called as blueprint. So they didn't have their physical existence, but they are the blueprint which define the behavior, state in the behavior of the object. That is a class, right? It is also called object factory because in one class you can have multiple objects. Now what is object? So it is a real value, a real world entity like state of a car, maybe the color of the car, the capacity of the fuel tank. All these things, they are having some actual value. So state means the attributes and behavior means the methods, which means the car can move, the car can have brakes. So that is behavior, which we tackle with the help of methods, functions, right? Now data types and these values in data type, we already saw that. Like we are having primitive, like byte is there, short is there, int is there, long, float, double, char, boolean. Okay, and non-primitive like classes are there. One was like a string we have used. We also will create array. So arrays also come under the category of non-primitive type. Now you have to remember the size. Okay, so how much size is of char? Char take one byte. We can put one single character to it, but it is of 2 bytes. Why? Because it also handles Unicode. So 1 byte for storing that single char and 1 byte for the Unicode. Okay, so total 2 bytes carries off. Integer 4 byte. Now double is double of integer. So 4 and a double like 8. Now we are having different type of operators in Java. The one is arithmetic. Now arithmetic related to your maths like plus, minus, multiply, divide and modulo. That to take out the remainder. Modulo means to take out remainder. For example, if I will take 9 mod 3, we know that 9 comes in the table of 3. So 3 3 is 9. So remainder will be 0. So 9 modulo 3 will be going to give you 0. But if you are doing 10 modulo 3, so 10 modulo 3 means 3 3 is 9. So 10 minus 9 is 1. So your remainder will come as 1. Then you are having this logical, which is AND, then you are having OR, then you are having NOT. You already know about how to use the logical operators. If you don't know, then you can comment about it. Okay, then increment and decrement is there. And prefix, postfix. For example, pre means before and post means after. So this is a variable, and if before the variable you are having plus plus, that means prefix. This is a variable A. After the variable you are having plus plus, that is postfix. Now some of the very common mathematical functions are there, which is power. If you want to take out the power, for example 2 to the power 3. So in place of A you will write 2 and in place of B you will write 3. Now what this function returns? Double. So since it is returning double, so in order to use it, so you have to make a variable which is of type double. Then if you want to take out square root, you will take this one. If you want to take out some random number between 0 and 1, you may say that, what are the number between 0 and 1? Infinite, like 0.12, 0.15, 0.125, so many numbers are there. If you want to increase the range, then you have to multiply that with that number. Then you're having seal, you're having floor. Seal is to take the top value, floor is to take the bottom value. You have a round in order to do the round off. So you will be going to do the round. Let's use some of these functions, so you will be going to have a clear idea. So whenever you are having integer, so that means you will use int. Whenever you are having double, so you will use the double data type. Let me do it for you. Some of them I can do. Okay. All right. Let me clean all this code or comment it. You guys can use this code whenever you need it. So I will upload it if possible on Drive, so you can use it for your reference. Okay, so let me go ahead and do some here that math class. Okay, let me write here double value, okay, equals to m capital, math is a class, dot pow for power, and I'm putting here 2 comma 3. Okay, so what is 2 to the power 3? 2 into 2 into 2, 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. Let me write here system dot out dot println, and I'm gonna put here value. Okay, now here what I will do is basically I will run it, compile. I hope it will not give me any error. I think, yeah, class is compiled, no error. Let me close it and run it. Now it is giving 8.0, because double we have used, and since that function returns double, so we have to use the double only. I will go here in the happy class, and this is how it is. Okay, so if I will do, let's say, sqrt, square root, sqrt. Okay, now check it, it is giving error because sqrt will take only one argument, but here we have given 2. Let me put here 25, because I remember 5 5s are 25. It will give you the answer as 5. Okay, right click, main. Okay, yeah, it is giving 5. Fine. One more is there, a cube root. So instead of sqrt, you will write cbrt for the cube root, cbrt. Let me cube root of maybe okay, so 2 into 2 is 4, and 4 into 2 is 8. So if I will put 8, so it must give me 2, because 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, it's 8. So if I will take the cube root of 8, that means it will give me 2. Compile it, then close it, and right click, main, then okay. You can see 2 is there. Okay, fine. I will go in the happy class, and now let's me do something seal and floor. Okay, I'm doing this for you, seal and floor. Okay, let me go ahead and instead of double, I will use here int, make it value 1, and make it seal. Okay, you know, you are in your home also, you guys are having sealing. Okay, what it is saying? It is saying that you have to make it double. Okay, let me make it double. I think it's integer only, no? Yeah, no, seal is double function. Okay, got it. Now I'm giving a value 8.2. Okay, let me compile it. It is not giving me any error. I will use this code again, Control C, and I will be going to paste it here, and I will this time I'm gonna do value 2. I have to pass value 2 here. Instead of seal, I'm gonna do floor. Okay. Now I told you what is seal, the top of your house. What is floor, where you are sitting right now. So what seal will do, if you will take about the number line from that 8.2 lies between 8 and 9. 8.2 lies here. So seal will be going to give you the top value of the number line, which is 8.2 the top value of the 8.2 is 9. And floor will be give you the bottom value, like 8.2 bottom value is 8. Okay, so seal will give the top of the number line. Let me tell you what I'm trying to say. See, board. Let me open the board. I know you understand it, but then too, I'm not satisfied. I will not take much time, but just a little bit of time. Okay, so if this is a number line, if the numbers are from 8 to 9, so many numbers could be possible, like 8.1, 8.2, so on, 8.9. Okay, so if you talk about seal function, the seal is top, so it will be going to give you the topmost value, which is 9. If you talk about the floor function, floor is the bottom, so it will give you the bottommost value, which is 8. Now you got it. All right, let me compile it. Right click, main. Okay. Yeah, it is giving 9 in the seal and it is giving 8 in the floor. Okay, first we have wrote the seal and then we have wrote the floor. Here we wrote the seal and then we wrote the float. Nice. Chali. Now we are moving to our notes again. Let me comment this. Okay, where are the notes? Here are the notes. Okay. Now, iterative constructs, you know that the logic for simple right angle triangle, that we start from int I equals to 1, I is less than equal to 5 for the 5 rows, and then we will connect this j with I. We said that j is less than equal to I. So this will be going to give you this right angle triangle. Now please remember that for loop and while loop, they both are anti-control loop, because the condition was checked first and then loop is executed. Now here do while loop is known as exit control loop, because it will run at least one time and then the condition will be got checked. Okay. Now some tips for the board exam. The difference between, divide, this is known as division, okay, and this one is mod. So if you will divide, let's say, let's check this division in mod right now. New keyword, it will be going to always used to allocate the memory for an object. For example, we are using new scanner. So for that particular variable scanner sc, we want memory, right? That's the reason we write scanner sc equals to new scanner system.in, so that we can allocate the memory to the variable which is sc. Now default case, we already see that, you already know about it. Now let's see this divide and mod. The difference between divide and, it may become in 1 mark, so just check it out. See, here I am writing a double lesson number 1 and 1, maybe for the number 1 equals to some number I am giving, maybe 9 or maybe 10. Okay, I am giving 10 here, and here I am making double and 2, and here I am giving 3. I am saying double DOU result, maybe res is equals to n1 mod n2. Okay, and system dot out dot println. Here let me pass res. All right, now if I gonna compile it, you can see no error. Now you will see that here I have put the mod. Okay, so this is, let's say, result 1. One more result we can do for the division. So I'm doing a double res2 for the result 2 equals to n1 divide by n2. Earlier it was mod, below we are having the division. Let me make it res1 and let me just copy this, let me paste it out and make it res2 for the result 2. Now you please remember, n1 is 10, n2 is 3. res1 is n1 mod n2 and res2 is n1 divided by n2. First we are printing res1 result 1 and then we are printing the result 2. Let's check it out. Compile, close, happy main. Okay, now see, first it is giving us this 1.0 and then it is giving us 3.35 like that. Why it is doing like this? It is happening because here we are doing the division and here we are doing the mod. Now mod is nothing but the remainder. If I will show you on board, see. Alright, so this is my board here. Now I'm gonna do this 10 divide by 3. Okay, now 3 1 3, 3 2 6, 3 3 the 9. So it is giving me what? Remainder 10 minus 1 is, 10 minus 9 is 1. So this is nothing but mod. Okay, so if I have, let's say, if I didn't have this, if I have, let's say, this division maybe. Okay, so let me do it here. I will go to 3 again, I will do 10. Now 3 3 the 9. Okay, and this will give me 1, then I have to take dot, then 0, then again 3 3 the 9, then 1, then 0, then again 3, then 3 3 the 9. Like this it will come. So 3 1 3 3 3 3. What is this? This is the question here, right? and this is called as division. So when you will use this particular sign, it will going to give you this answer. When you are using the mod, it will be going to give you the remainder. Please make the note of that, it's important. All right. Let me comment it. Just a second. Double multi-line comment. Okay. Chale. Let's move to the notes now. Pretty much. We did the chapter number 1. You guys have any doubt, then you can ask me. Let's move to the chapter number 2. Quick revision of chapter number 2. Now, class, we know that it's a user-defined data type or non-primitive, and it helps us in order to create different objects. Now, these type of definitions are important because, in ICSE, they respect the meaningful definition. Despite it is short, but it should be meaningful. It should be correct. Okay. Now, object. What is object? It is an identifiable entity with a specific state and behavior, which is having some physical reality. Like object could be having some value that is stored, right? Now, object factory. A class is called object factory because we can produce any number of objects in it. Now, we are having member variables and member methods. Now, methods are nothing but function. So, how to differentiate it? For example, we know that a class can handle both the things because class follow encapsulation, and an encapsulation means that binding of data members with member methods, right? So, if I tell you in code, let me do it. It is simple actually. Here you can see that class is there. The name of the class is happy. Now inside the class I have n1, n2, all these things, and I can also have functions also. Like I have used this char functions and stuff like that. I can also make my own functions. For example, if I want to make a function, so I will write here public void, maybe add, maybe we are adding some numbers. Let's say the two numbers int a comma int b, and here I'm adding them. So let's say int sum equals to a plus b. Right, all this we are doing inside the class. Let me compile it. Public void add. I have to put a static here because I didn't create the object. So whenever I'm not creating the object, so I have to put a static keyword. Public static. Some mistake I did. One extra bracket is coming. Do I'm in the main function? Just a second. Some error I did. Public static void add into 1 into some. This is so correct. Let me go on top. Okay, nice. Yellow is that's a main function. This is a main function. This is the class. Okay. Some very common mistake I did. Let me just delete this. Let me compile it. Let me make this. Oh, sorry. I am writing the main. I am writing the function inside the main function. I have to write outside the main function. Okay. So public static void public static. Let's say the name of the function is the function is type void, and the name of the function is maybe addition. Okay. Let me put it here. Some parameters. Maybe int a comma int b. Okay. Now here let's put some result. Result is nothing but a plus b. Now system dot out dot println. Just put the result res. Now it will give the addition of a and b. Okay, compile it. Now it is saying the class is compiled, no error, thankfully. Now how to use addition? We will go to main. This is our main function, and here I will put the addition bracket, and let me compile it. It will give error, I know that. What it is saying? It is saying that you have to put two arguments and they both should be integer. Let me put two numbers here. I am putting here maybe 5, 7. Let me compile it again. Now it is saying no error. What is 5 plus 7? Well, it is I think 12. close it. Happy, mean, okay. It is giving 12. You can see in here bottom, this 12 is coming. So this is how, the idea is that in one class you can have the functions also. You are having functions, we call it members, data, this member methods, and you are also having the data types, this data members. Like here you are having double. These are known as double, integer, character, boolean, string. They all are the data members, right? So this is what they are trying to say. Nice. Okay. Now you know the primitive now, and you know the composite. So non-primitive composite we can call it. And user defined functionality, like you can create your own classes where you can give it your own definitions of data members, and you can give the member methods, so that you can also create. Now comparison. So primitive data code is built in Java, like it come with Java. Now composite we created. Now the size is fixed in primitive, like for example the integer is 4 bytes, double is 8 bytes. Now coming to the composite, the size is dynamic, it is liable to change. Now nullability, it cannot be null, you have to assign some value. But coming to non-primitive, you can make it null also, string can be null also. Now the new keyword, we know that why we use it, in order to allocate the memory, right? So memory allocation is done with the help of new keyword. For example, I have this object name, I want to give some memory in my hard disk. In my memory, I have to give some space to object name variable. So I will assign with the help of new keyword. Now new keyword will be going to help in order to allocate the memory. Now what is this? Okay, so you can see here the box is given here, which is class, and here 3 data members are there, which is nothing but length, width, and behavior. And here you can see that void set dimensions. Now what is void? So the void is coming, that means it's a function. What type? It's a non-return type. Whenever the void will come, non-return type function. Now it is taking arguments. How many arguments it is taking, or parameters? It is taking 3 parameters. What are they? L for the length, W for the width, and H for the height. Now you are connecting this length, width, height with this L, W, H here. Length, first this will come, and then we will assign this L to this length. We'll assign W, that we get in set dimensions function, and we will assign to width. Similarly H to height. Now we make one more function. Now this is a different, no, this is having data type. So whenever the data type is coming before the name of the function, that means that it will 100% return something. It will return a value. If you will not write return, then it will give you error. Okay, so now this is a return here. You can see what it is returning. Length multiplied by width multiplied by height is returned by the calculate value function. Okay, and you can see double. Now what is double? It's a data type. So whenever you are using a data type instead of void, so that means you are talking about, you are dealing with the return type function, and for that you will have to return a value. Now here you know that most important function, the main function. So in the main function, you first of all you have to create the object. Now what is this box? Well, if you remember, the box is the name of the class. You can see BOX. B is uppercase, class it is. In the main function, I am writing box B1. Now the object is B1 equals to new dynamic memory allocation box. Now if I will use B1 dot set dimension, so I have to give it 3 parameters. What are they? 10, 5, and 2. I can give any. Since it is taking 3 parameters, so in set dimensions I have to give 3 parameters. Now box B2, this is another object. Now box B2 is equals to new box. Now B2 dot set dimensions. Here I am giving again 2, 2, 2. So I am creating 2 objects. B1 is my first object and B2 is the second object. And it is a proof the class is known as object factory. We can have multiple objects, right? But name should be different. B1, B2, B3, so many. Now here you can see that volume 1, it is written in the system.out.println, which is volume 1, which is B1 dot calculate value, and this is system.out value 2, which is calculate the value. Now this will be going to give you 100, and this will be going to give you 8 in output. Why 100? Because 10 into 5 is 50, and 50 into 2 is 100, and 2 into 2 into 2 is 8. Okay, so if you will check this code, so you have created multiple objects, and this is how it will be going to give you the multiple values. Some real world explanation in order to understand the abstraction. We know that abstraction. Okay, so here you can see that in the real world objects like car and ATM we are having. So we discussed about like abstraction. We are hiding the details and focusing on specific thing. Okay, some of the very common questions are there. Why is a class called abstraction? Because it represents only the essential features of an object without including the background details. We don't know about the background of it, but we know the essential things. That's the reason, class supports abstraction. What is the difference between object and a class? A class is a blueprint. It's a concept, but object is having some actual existence, right? And we have told about it. You have seen that new keyword we were using in order to tackling that, giving the memory. Now, what does new do? It allocates memory for an object and calls a constructor. So we know that we have seen that the syntax of the object. This is the syntax of the object. Here B2 is what? B2 is the name of the object. New is giving it memory, and this box is what? It's a constructor. Here box is the class, and this box after the brackets, the brackets are there after the box. That means it's a constructor. So what this do? New keyword do, it allocates the memory to an object and also calls the constructor. All right, good. Now coming to these methods, after discussing some theory part, we will also discuss the code part. Okay, so don't worry about I'm discussing theory only, but just try to listen this theory. It's very important actually. And once we finish the theory now, so after that we will be going to discuss some coding problems also, some of the very important coding problems, and then we will end the class. Okay, very nice. Now I hope the text is visible to you. Let me increase it. Okay, 150 is I think good. Nice. Now what is methods? We know two type of methods: return type and non-return types. Now a method is a self-contained block of code that performs some specific task. For example, when we make a method which is, let's say, public void, I'm making a method here, and let's say the name of the method is nothing but add. Okay, so now what it will do, it can add two numbers. I'm writing here int a comma int b. I have some less space, so I'm just doing like this, but it will come in one line. You already know about that. And here I'm just putting the brackets. Here I'm putting int sum, or maybe s, a plus b. Now who is the method here? The method name is add. What it is doing? It is doing a specific task. What? It is adding the arguments. Okay, so this is what it's written here. Alright, so methods for usability and modularization. So breaking a complex problem in smaller manageable chunk. For example, let's say you are making a calculator. It's a big problem. Calculator is having so many things. But if you will break the calculator into small chunks, so how you can do it? With the help of methods. You can, for example, a calculator can perform so many expressions, so many operations, but very common are plus, minus, divide, multiply. Okay, so you can have a function for plus, you can have a function for subtraction, maybe for division you can have another function, you can have a for product multiplication you can have another function. You can call it function, or you can call it method. Okay, so you can have that. Now there's something which is known as divisibility criteria, that methods which are like syntax and structures are there. Some of the methods are there which is public, which is visible everywhere. Then some are private. Okay, some are protected, some are default. So these are some of the things that we will look in the upcoming chapter, which is about scope of particular access specifier. Okay. Now we know that one is return type and one is non-return type. Now return type, generally, the data type of the value, the method sends back. Use void if nothing is returned. For non-return type, we use the void keyword, and for return type, we use the data type. Now method name should be meaningful verb. Like for example, calculate tax. It is giving some meaning. Like calculate tax. Matlab for you are using this method for calculating of the text. Display output, which means that you are using this method to display the output. Right. Now what is the parameter list? For example, you are having a method. Okay, you are having a method. The name of the method is maybe add, then bracket. Now here you are having some group of parameters like int a, int b. So these are nothing but known as formal parameters. And if you are passing some value, let's say you are giving a 5 to a, and let's say you are giving 7 to b, Now 5 and 7 are also the parameters, but now they are called actual parameters because they are the actual values. So this A and B, they are the formal parameters, and 5 and 7, they are the actual parameters. Now you can see here also the differences, some definitions are written here about formal parameters and the actual parameters. Now next thing we are having here is method overloading, which is also known as polymorphism. So we know that one of the concept in Java is polymorphism, that one method can be used in multiple type. For example, let me make here a method. Okay, public void answer, ans for the answer, and here I'm putting, let's say, integer a comma integer b comma integer c. Okay, now I'm just putting the brackets here. Now I'm making one more method, but the name will be same only, public void, again same name, which is nothing but answer, so ans. But this time I will change in the parameters. So instead of 3, what I will do is I will be going to give 2 parameters. Let's say I'm giving here only I'm giving here double a comma double b. Okay, so now what will happen when you will use answer, this whenever you will call this method whose name is answer. So what will happen is whenever you will call it, so it will ask you for the parameters. Okay, let me tell what I'm trying to say. See, I'm calling answer in main function. Let's say I have some main function. Inside the main function, I'm calling both the answers. Okay, I made the object of the class. I'm calling first answer. Now I'm giving it some values. Let's say 1.5 comma 2.7. Let's say I'm calling answer again ans, but this time I'm giving value maybe 2 comma 3 comma 5. Now both these values are double, so this answer will be executed, this answer function. All the threes are integer, that means this answer function will be executed. Getting it? So this particular concept, when the function name is same, okay, here the name of the function is answer only, answer, here also answer, but since the parameter that you are giving, that is differing, because of that difference, the answer function is able to compute in multiple ways. Okay, now some code is there. You can use this one, area is there. So here you are giving int side only, but here you are giving int l and b. So whenever you will pass 2 parameters to area, that means you are talking about this function. Whenever you will give one value to the area function, that means you are talking about this function. And when you are giving one value, but you are giving double value, for example 2.7, that means you are talking about this function. All the names are same, but since you are passing a different parameter, so the execution of the function will be different. Now, very important concept, what is call by value and call by reference. So coming to ICSE, they didn't give much about call by reference, but let's then to just study about it. Now, what is call by value? So a copy of the actual parameter is passed to the formal parameter. So changes made inside the method do not affect the original value. So that is known as primitive, used for the primitive types. Now call by reference means we have the memory, computer memory. So it is having the address, right? So the address of the object is passed. So we are giving here address, here we are giving the value, or here we are giving the value, here we are giving the address. So the changes made inside the method do affect the original object. Okay, so you can just remember these definition, because in the ICSE, the call by reference, they are not asking, call by value they are asking. So for this you can actually refer this definition. So here the call by value, see, void change int x is equals to x plus 10. So change is local to this method. So this x value is changing here only. So if you pass value of a is 5 and you will call it outside it, so the value of this a will be going to 5 only. Why? Because of this bracket. The value of this x is changing inside the change function. Okay, outside the brackets, the value is same only. If you are having any confusion about it, it's very simple. See, scope. The X value is getting changed under those brackets. Outside it, it is the same whatever it is. Now, there are two type of methods, like we know that return type and non-return type. So one more category they have given, which is pure and impure. Okay. Now, what is pure? It returns a value and does not change the state of the object. Example, math.sqrt. So it is giving you one value. Okay. For example, if you give sqrt of 25, it is giving you 5. That's it. But coming to impure, it may or may not return a value, but changes the state of the object. Here the value could be changed. It depends actually. Let me prove what I'm trying to say. See, here we are having this int s equals to 0 and square is here, and we are taking one parameter which is n. Now we are saying that s is n multiplied by n, and here we are returning the s. Okay, now you can see that earlier value of s was 0. Now the value of a is changed as per it depends on n. So this particular thing is known as error in logic. This change the state of s. Correct, it will change the state of s was 0. Now n into n, let's say the value of n is 5, so 5 into 5 is 25. Now the new value of the s will become 25. So this particular scenario where the variable value is getting changed from 0 to 25, it is known as impure function. Why is this impure? Because every time the square 5, the value is getting changed. Now what is the pure version of it? So the pure version of this same function is that inside of declaring this int as outside, I will be going to use inside. How? I will make a function square, and inside the function only, you can see inside the function I am giving s is equals to n into n, and then I am returning the value of s. So outside we didn't have any value of s. So what is happening? It is happening inside the scope of the function. Very important. It is happening inside the scope of the function. Our bracket, this bracket is there. From this bracket to this bracket, whatsoever is happening, it's happening in the scope. So that's the reason it is known as, this function is known as like pure function. You can read the definition, because it does not change the global or the class level data. So it just take an input, does a job, and gives the output without leaving a mess behind the object state. It's quite simple, right? Now, what are the static and non-static? Okay. Now, static belongs to class. For example, public static void main. We are not creating any object for the main function because that's a static function. But if I am making a function and that function is non-static, so first, I have to create the object. So it belongs to the object and then requires an object instance to create before calling. If you want me that to prove you with code, let me do it for you. Just let's finish this, and I will code this, and you will understand it better. Don't worry. Now, quick tips. Section A, it may come in your section A. If the exam asks you that what is the return type of a constructor, so the answer is constructor does not return any value, not even the void. They are not a function now. They are not your regular methods. That constructor, it will neither return anything, okay, and also it will not be going to have any return type. Now, naming convention, we know that. Remind student, you have to please remember that the method name will be going to use camel convention. Now, what is camel convention? The first letter will become a lowercase. For example, the name of the function is run horse. Okay, so run RUN will become like this, and horse H will be capital. Okay, so this is known as camel convention. While coming to class, you are having first letter also uppercase, second also uppercase of word, all the uppercase. For example, I'm writing here, let's say now the run horse is nothing but the class. So I will write here run horse, because this is a class, right? So R is also uppercase, H is also uppercase. But when you are writing methods, so R is lowercase here and H is uppercase. This is known as camel convention or camel case. Alright, let me prove it. What is static and non-static? You guys already know, but just we can revise it a bit. I will not take much time, don't worry. Okay. See, I'm making a function here. Okay, I will make two functions. the first function I am making, let's say here, public, okay, void add for addition of the numbers. I am giving two parameters here, int a comma int b. In here I will write system dot out dot println, and here I can put that addition of a plus b. Or I can do one more thing, I can make one more extra variable here, integer sum, that will going to handle a plus b addition. I'm going to write here a plus b, and here I will pass the sum sum. Now let's compile it. Everything is okay, but it will not be going to print anything. Why? Because add function we didn't give any value to a and b. Let's do that. I will go in the main and I will call my add function add, and let me give some values. I'm giving here 2, 3. Okay, now compile it. It will give us error. See, it is giving the error. It is saying that you have a non-static method add, so you please make it static. So I have to make it static, then only I can use it directly. But one more way is there. If I don't want to make it static, so I will make the object of the class. Now what's the name of the class? The name of the class is happy. I will write happy, maybe obj for the object, then assignment operator, then new, then happy constructor. Now before add I will write obj, that's the object, right? Dot. Now it will not give an error. Compile. Now it is saying that class is compiled and no syntax error. Why? Because now this main function can connect with the class. Okay, so if you will compile it and you will try to run it, now you can see 5 is coming. 2 plus 3, 5. Okay, if I am not making this object, it will give an error, right? It will give you an error that class can't connect with add. But if you will add here static before void, if you will compile it, let's change some number, make it 21. What is 21 plus 3? It is 24. Now class is compiled, no syntax error. Right click, main, 24. Okay, so this is the difference between static and non-static methods. Achha, one more thing, void is there, it's a non-return type. Same function I can also create return type. I am making here public, maybe integer sum. The name of the function is sum this time. Let's make it static only, so that I don't want to create object of it. And here I am passing maybe this time three arguments. So integer a comma integer b comma integer c. Okay, c. Now just make it sum here, integer sum equals to, this sum is different from that. This is the name of the function, and this sum is nothing but the data type for handling the a plus b plus c. Let's make it some number, camel case, some value, maybe some value. Okay, now sum is nothing but a plus b plus c. Now you have to return it. So it is giving you error, right? If you will not do anything, so this here red color box is coming, it is giving error. Since it is integer type of function, which means it's a return type function, and you have to return something. So what you have to return? Well, what you have calculated, you have calculated a plus b plus c, and where you store it, you store it in the sum, so you will return sum. Okay, let's compile it. Yeah, it is fine now, but we didn't give any value to it, so let's give some value. Let's go to the main and just call this function whose name is some value. So some value, and let's give some value, maybe 1 comma 2 comma 5. What is 5 plus 2 plus 1? 5 6 7 8. 8 should be printed, but it will not print it. You should think why it is not printing anything. It is printing 24. It's our previous output, but it is not printing it. Okay, let me compile it again. This 24 is coming from here, this sum. I want to comment it. Okay, compile again. Now just run it again, main. It is also not running. The reason is because everything is fine, but we didn't give any printing statement to the sum value function. So what I can do, I will write this entire code in println statement. Okay, I'm using this println statement, control C, and I'm gonna put here control V, and I will put this entire block of code inside here. I will delete the extra semicolon, compile it. Now let's check it out. It will give us answer or not. 8 is coming. Okay, so this is how we can use in void function. We are putting this println here only. Now coming to return type function, we have the option to use this println inside the main. So this is the difference between return type and not return type functions. All right. So now let's get back to the notes again. Now some of the quick tips. I think this one we have discussed. Yeah, when we're discussing about run host and run host, this particular thing. All right, I'll move to the chapter number 4, constructors. Right, we already know that what are the constructors. They are not exactly functions, but in some textbook they call it special type of functions, but they are not come under the category of functions. Now here we can see the definition. A constructor is a specialized member method. You can call it member method, though there are some debates about it, but okay. Specialized member method you can call. Special word you have to put, okay? So constructor is a specialized member method used to initialize the state of an object at the time of its creation. So whatever the object that you are creating, so during the time we create it, so it is help us in order to initialize it. Like we have seen here. Here we made one constructor. Here, see, the name of the class was box. No, not in this code. In one of the code I remember we have made the constructor. Here only we will have this. See, student is there, and student here, we have the student and the brackets are there. So this is known as constructor. Now what we are doing, we are initializing the value. For example, name, we are saying unknown. We can have a name of a person also, to whom we are initializing to this data member, string name. And we have one more data member which is int roll number. So we are initializing the value 0. So constructors are used in order to initialize the values. Okay, during the creation of that particular object. Now purpose, it ensures that an object is created with valid initial data before it is used in the program. That you are having some data for that particular object that you have created. So that's the purpose of it. Now what are the key characteristics? There are multiple characteristics, like it has a name, same name as the class. We know that. It does not have any return type, neither the void. Okay, it automatically invoked. If you are not creating, it will create it automatically. It cannot be static or abstract. You can't make it static, okay, or abstract. Now we are having type of constructor, as we know that one is default or non-parameterized. Like it doesn't take any argument. It already if you are not correct, one default one is like you are not creating, it is creating automatically. And non-parameterized means it doesn't have the parameters. Now what are the parameters? So whenever let's say the name of the class is box, you are creating box as a constructor, okay. So in this brackets, whatever you write, that data type and the variables, that are known as parameters. So coming to non-parameterized, so they are those like they are empty. We didn't have any parameters there in the box class. It doesn't take any of the arguments. If a programmer doesn't write any constructor, so Java provides a hidden default value. The constructor initialize is like 0, variables to 0 and the objects to null. Now parameterize, opposite of it, it is having some parameters. So that is known as parameterized. Like box can have integer size, comma, integer length, comma, integer height, right? All these are the parameters. Now constructor overloading, we know method overloading, that the name of the method will be same, but since we are changing the different the data members, like data types and the variable, so we can use same methods again and again. Where one name method, like I have given the example of run. So coming to the constructor also, overloading is possible. You can have one name, one name of that class, box, maybe box multiple times, and you are changing the parameters, right? So that is known as the constructor overloading. Like you are changing the parameters, like in one constructor you write two time integer, int a comma int b. In next you write only int a or maybe int c, right? Int a, int b, int c, you make the three parameter. In third constructor the same name, but here you are giving only one particular this parameter. So this is known as, like, constructor overloading. Name of the one constructor, the same constructor name, but since the methods, since the parameters are different, so the one type of constructor can be handled in multiple ways. Here example is given. Let's say the name of the class is student, and here you are using student here, Hana, and here again you are using the student. You are using student constructor two times. First time it was empty. Second times you are giving parameters. So it is legal, and this concept is known as constructor overloading. Now in the display you can display the name and you can display the roll number. Now whatever values that you have given here, those values will be fed here. Now you make the object s1 s2 and you call the display. Why you are calling the display? Very important, huh? s1.display, s2.display. We are calling it because in the display method we are having the print statement. So if you are not calling the display function, nothing will be printed. So it's very important when you create such functions, and inside that function you are having the println statement. So after giving the data, for example here we have given the data, Ali and 5 we have given. So after giving the data, you have to call that function that will be going to help us in order to print the data. The display function will help. Why display function will help? If you will look the display function body, it is having the printing statement. It is having the variable which is name. It is having the variable which is roll number. Okay. Now one thing you may think that okay, do this is valid because it is inside the student name and roll number. This doubt can come. It is valid. Why? Because this name and roll number we have given outside the constructors. We have these are the class variable because they are inside the class. So we are using name and roll number anywhere. We can use it here also. We can use it here also. We can use it here also. So legal, 100% legal. Now you can see here there are some very nice diagram, the table about difference between constructor and method. They may can ask you, they maybe ask you in this 2 marks, 1 mark question, or maybe they can give you some questions regarding this. Okay, now what is constructor and what is method? Now feature name must be same as the class name. We know that the name of the class and name of the constructor are same. Can be any valid identifier. Now valid term is there. Okay, so there are some of the things that we have to follow. You can't have space. For example, the name of the method is, let's say, 1 digit. You can't write like this, 1 then space then digit. That is not legal. Okay, you have to write like this only. You have to follow the camel convention, 1 digit. That's it. Okay, so you can have any valid identifier. Now return type, non-return type, even void is also not coming. So must have a return type or void. Void for non-return type and data type for the return type. Now invocation, so it can call automatically during the object creation. Here you have to give it, must be called explicitly using an object. Purpose, to initialize an object. Here to perform any specific task like addition, multiplication, or any of the task. Now why we use this keyword? Okay, so this keyword when the parameter name is the same as the instance variable, so then we use this keyword. For example, here you can see that int id is there, and in the parameter also you are having int id. So both the where in both in your class data type and in your constructor class variable and your constructor variable, they both are id only. So in order to avoid the confusion, so we are having this this keyword. So this dot id means we are referring about this, and this id means we are talking about this. That's the reason this is used, this keyword is used. Okay, next library classes. They are very important, and some of the library classes that we have seen, which is that a math class in which we have seen that math.pow for the power, then cbrt for the cube root, and sqrt we have seen for the square root, and some of the more methods we have seen, I guess ceil and floor, if you remember, right? So like what are the library classes? Well, Java developers, they have created some of the classes in which you are having so many functions that is used again and again. For example, the power function, it is highly used. So what they people who develop all these core codes, they think that why not to make one class, and inside that class you will be going to give all the functions that the people are using again and again. So that is nothing but the concept of library classes, that you will be going to you are having some of the classes which is having some of the functions that are useful to you. You just have to import that class and you are good to go, right? And some of the functions are there in the package which is known as java.lang package. One of the packages there in Java which is lang, L-A-N-G. So this is the default package. If you are not using the package also now, if you are not writing import.java.lang, then also it is automatically imported. So this is a default package in Java. And this class, math class, actually belongs to this only. That's the reason we didn't have to import anything when we are using the math class. Now, introduction to wrapper classes. Now, what is that? A wrapper class wraps a primitive data type into an object. This allows primitive to be treated as an object. For example, int, if you want to make int is a primitive, we know that int, but its wrapper class is integer. Char, character. Double, double, D capital. Boolean, boolean, B capital. Now, whenever you want to wrap up the data types, the primitive data type into object, you have to make their objects. So you will be going to use a wrapper class. Now, what is its need? So Java is an object-oriented programming language, we know that. So some collection and methods only work with object, not primitive data type. So there are some of the collections in Java that only work for the objects. It will not work for primitive data type. So wrapper class gives us this chance that we can convert primitive data type into an object. Now, what is autoboxing and unboxing? Please pay your attention. It is very nice concept, but a bit tricky. Now, autoboxing, the automatic conversion of primitive to corresponding wrapper class. Primitive to wrapper class, autoboxing. And unboxing is opposite. The automatic conversion of wrapper class back to the primitive, right? Back to its primitive. Here example is also giving integer obj equals to 10. Now, what is that? Obj. Obj is 10, but this is object because integer int eger, this is used. Now here int n equals to object, it means that this object is object of integer which is 10, but since we are writing int n equals to obj, which means that now this object will be turned into n, will be stored in n variable. Now n variable is nothing but a primitive data type. I hope you are getting the differences. Okay, so now the next is numeric wrapper methods. Okay, it's also very important. Please pay attention. All right, so these methods are used to convert a string like input from the text field into a mathematical number. So let's say you are having some text. Here you can see that string is there, double quotation means text. So in order to convert string into a number, okay, string here 100 is not a number, okay, because it is written in the double quotations. Now here the 100 is s is a string, right? Now if you want to convert this s into a number, what you will do, you can write int a equals to integer method, integer wrapper class you will use. Then you will put dot and you will put parseInt, parseInt, I capital. Then you will put s there. So what parseInt will do, it will convert, it will parse word is better. It will parse the 100 which is used to be in a string to integer. Since it is parsed to integer, that means that now the 100 is no more string. Now this 100 is a number. Okay. Similarly, you are having double. You will write double dot parse double. Long dot parse long. You please remember this, integer dot parse integer, double dot parse double, long dot parse long. Okay. So this is how this happen. One of the tip, if the string contains a letter like 100a, so these methods throw a number format exception. Some exceptions are there in your syllabus, it is not there, but some of the exceptions like try and catch, it is used in Java. So with the help of that we can do this exception handling, but that is out of the scope of your syllabus. Alright, so some of the methods are there, character methods, right? So these are static methods and you can call them using name character. These are the character methods, and they are vital for programs that count the vowels or digits and uppercase, lowercase, etc. See, the idea is that whenever you are having a method is, I'm just making some red color here. So I want to tell some important thing about is means that we are checking. Okay, so when using is means like either it is true or false. That's the reason whenever you will see is letter, is uppercase, is lowercase, is space bar, they all return booleans. It will just tell you that it is true or false. For example, if you're checking that particular value, int maybe int p is equals to 5. If you say that p dot is digit, and we know that p is 5, so p is digit, right? So it will give you true, right? So it will be going to check that particular this value is digit or not, or letter or not. It will check, it will return you true or false since it's boolean, right? Okay, let's do one of it. I'm doing this one, character dot is digit. Okay, control C. See here, character char a is 5 and char this 2 is a, and here char 3 is nothing but 4. It is in Arabic 4. So is digit, 5 is a digit, right? So it is giving you true. Okay, now char 2 is capital A, so capital A is not a number, so it will give you output as false. And char 3, and you already know that Java is a very rich language. It can also take that Arabic, Telugu, Tamil, any of these traditional languages also it take using the Unicode. So since 4 is in Arabic, but 4 is a number, so it is giving you true in the output. Okay, so if you were using that character dot is digit char 1, if you are putting on char 1, so here it is giving you the values like true, false. Okay, nice. Okay, so is letter or digit the same way you can check. Hana, is letter will check from A to Z uppercase and A to Z lowercase. Is letter or digit, it will check for alphanumeric. Alphanumeric like collection of alphabet and numbers. Now is uppercase, capital letters, lowercase, small letters, we know that, very simple. And now this is very important. Again, I want to color it. Let's this time I color yellow. 2. Whenever the 2 is there, that means we are converting. For example, character dot to uppercase, you will be going to convert all the characters to uppercase. Let's try this one. Acha, already I have some code here, so you can also see that. Anyhow, let me try this one. Is white space matlab it will be going to see that white space is there or not. Let me use this one, control C. Okay, let's check it out. See, lower is G, G is in lower letter, small letter. Now char upper we are making, and we are saying that character dot to uppercase lower, and this lower is nothing but a variable which is holding the value G. Now in the returns, it will be going to give you this capital G. So capital G will be written here. Now system.out.println char to uppercase 8. So here the 8 will become. Okay, I don't know why they are doing like this. They must have to put this upper here. No issue. Let's do that. Copy the code. I'm doing this code in BlueJ. Let me make a new class. Maybe the name of the class is upper. Let me make the class in main function. So class is upper, and main function, which is public static void main. And here I will be going to just cut this, and I will put inside the main function. Let's compile it. Close, upper, main. Okay, now see 8 and 8 is coming. It is not giving capital G. Now character dot upper, character to uppercase. Alright, because we didn't put upper here. Okay, this it should I have to put here this, I have to use this upper in the system.out.println. Let me do that here. System.out.println, and here I have to put the upper. Okay, because character dot to uppercase is stored in upper. Let me tell what I'm trying to say. This particular equation, which is character dot to uppercase lower. What is lower? This value which is having g. Now this entire uppercase function is stored in variable whose name is upper. So it's very important to print this upper to see the capital G. Compile it. Now it is giving capital G. Okay, solve the problem. Alhamdulillah. All right, now we're gonna go to our notes. Okay, so these two you can do now by yourself also. And the is digit function is there. Here we can also count the number of digits. I'm making here, if you want to count number of digits, so it will check it. Okay, how many digits are there? So these are the letters, so it will ignore. This is a white space, so again it will ignore. So 2 1 0 2, 2026, total 4 digits are there, right? So you have to go from string dot 0 to str dot length. Since this is string, so we have to write dot length to go to tackle the length. What is the length of this particular values? So 4 plus 1 5, 4 plus 1 5, and 5 plus 4 9. So 9 is there. So it will go from 0 to 8, right? So by this, it will be going to check every letter, and then it will be going to see that if all those letters are digit or not. So if it is digit, then this digits plus plus will be going to increase the count of 0. So 4 time it will say a number, so the digits will be going to got the value of 4, and if we will print the value of 4 here, so the 4 will be printed in the output. Okay, now class is composite type. Here you are having composite type of a class. Now like you already know that the class can be of composite type. Here you are having this a data type created by combining multiple primitive or other composite type, example class or array. So you can have a collection of multiple primitive data types, so that is known as composite data type. Now difference is, like, unlike primitives can hold a single value, composite can hold multiple values. Okay, and it can have own functionality and methods. So if you are making a stuff that can handle the multiple values, so that will be going to come under the category of composite, while primitive can't do this. Primitive is like integer double, they can only handle a one type of value. Okay, now chapter number 6, encapsulation. Here we will discuss about public, private, protected, and default that I told you in the class, in the that I told you in a previous video. Okay, so let me take a quick break, and then I will gonna start with the chapter number 6. All right.